This week on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast, I'm interviewing my good friend and mom of 9, Karrie, on her tips and tricks for saving money on groceries. Here is today's interview segment with Karrie. Do you meal plan in advance for the week as well?
I do. Yeah,
And you do that all at one time? You're not like meal planning for a couple days? Because I'll do like that whole week, because I have to look at our calendar. Like, what do we have going on in the evening that might necessitate a easier, quick meal? Because I'm like you, I don't enjoy eating out that much primarily for health reasons. Like, I just don't want all the extra like calories and sodium. And then I have complete sticker shock because even something like McDonald's for a family of our size is like $40 to $50. And I'm like, that is not worth it.
Yeah.
I can make a much higher quality, better tasting meal that doesn't take that much longer if I just do it at home. So like nights where the kids' activities, I'm like, we're going to eat sandwiches or something. And they don't really mind. They like it. But it's hard for me because my kids, I have 3 out of 4 pretty picky eaters. So it's actually really depressing to meal plan because I don't ever make anything that I really want to make. I make stuff that I know the kids are going to eat. And I'll do I'll try to see what we have in the pantry and in the freezer, because we also have a huge garage freezer. So I'll go down there and see like, okay, what do I have in here that I could put together with maybe some minimal ingredients that I would have to buy to supplement that, and then create a dinner out of that. And I do that for financial reasons, but also like, I don't want to waste a bunch of food either.
I definitely do that too. I look at what I have in the pantry, what I have in the freezer, and then I look at what's on sale. You know, like if a pork loin is on sale, then we might have pulled pork sandwiches that week or whatever. So I definitely do pay attention to what the sales are. And I do shop my freezer and my pantry and then add to that. But my kids aren't picky. So I usually try to plan maybe 4 meals a week. And that's because our weekends are pretty set. Like Saturday night is always pizza. I don't have to worry about that. And then Sunday is usually some sort of, well, especially now, like something grilled outside in the summer, and it's nice, but a nicer meal on Sunday.
When can I come over? On Sunday.
July 4th. No.
Wait, I'm going to back up on the pizza. Do you do like pizza that you make at home? Do you do like a Papa Murphy's type pizza? What do you do?
It varies. My favorite is Papa Murphy's, actually.
See, that's
but we don't get that too often because
it's so expensive.
It's expensive.
You have to have like the primo coupon to make it work.
Yeah,
especially if you're buying multiple pizzas.
So we don't do that one too often. I would say the majority of the time it's either Domino's or Papa John's because those are a lot cheaper. Tony will make pizza from scratch. That's kind of rare these days, but it does happen. I mean, it's cheap pizza, but I'm fine with it because I don't have to cook. I try to plan 4 meals for the week, and then one day is probably going to be a leftover night because I don't like to waste food. So if I don't have leftover night, then it just sits in the fridge and goes bad. That's one of the ways I help like eliminate waste, is to do leftover night.
So when you're cooking a dinner, are you cooking that with the idea that you are trying to have leftovers that can then be eaten for like lunch or other things? Or are you just cooking for that meal that night and that's all the food that you're trying to make?
I would say usually I'm trying to make more than I think the kids will eat. And that's because some nights no one eats anything or hardly anything, and other nights they're ravenous and I barely made enough. So I always try to overshoot. And if I do that and there's a lot left over, then Tony can take some for lunch at work. So in my house, it's always better to overshoot.
Yeah, I feel like dinner is the most challenge. That's what I put the most effort into planning for. But like, you also have breakfasts and lunches. So like, how are you buying things for all of those meals? And like during the school year, you're having to buy things. Our kids both go to the same school too. So it's a nut-free school. So then there's that challenge too, which don't even get me started on that. But do you pack kind of the same lunches or buy the same things over and over again for lunches and breakfast? Or how do you shop for that too?
So breakfast is pretty minimal. I am not a breakfast person, and so I am not going to be the one in the kitchen making breakfast on a school day. So that is usually frozen waffles, yogurt with granola, bagels, something to that effect that the kids can prepare themselves. One of the things I like to do is I always check the clearance bakery bins at the stores.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I can find day old bagels or croissants,
there's always good baked goods, and it's like half the price.
It is.
Yeah.
So I like to do that. Not every day, but now and then we'll have that type of stuff for breakfast. And then lunches, my my oldest, poor guy, he had peanut butter and jelly for 12 years straight. That was his lunch every day.
Did he like that? Is that his preference?
He did. And he thinks the younger kids are spoiled. So I don't even know when this started, but we ended up buying those bento boxes for their lunches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to be creative and put fun stuff in it. Well, probably the reason it started was because the school doesn't have a cafeteria. So there's, you have to bring a lunch, and the meals that they would provide, what did they call it? Dishes to you.
Oh, yeah. If you weren't bringing your own lunch, if you want to do it's like hot lunch.
Yeah. Hot lunch. Okay. The hot lunch options were insanely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's no way I can pay for this for 5 kids. I started getting more creative with the lunches to try to make up for not being able to do the hot lunch.
Yeah.
So
you let your guilt. See, my kids complained about that too. And I was like, no. Although when I was a kid, I got hot lunch like 2 or 3 days a week and I loved it.
I know. I did too. Almost all the time. I had it almost all the time. It was like a quarter lunch.
You don't know what you're missing. It was so good. That was like a real hot lunch though. Where you like
with a tray.
With the tray and you had the pizza or the hamburger and then like the fruit
cup.
And then they had the salad bar, which is disgusting.
Okay, we didn't have a salad bar.
A salad bar in a K-8 school?
No. I don't remember. I don't think we had salad bar. It was like the mixed vegetable blend. Delicious.
Yeah.
So we got a little more fancy with the lunches, and we'll do, chicken nuggets or the little pizza rolls, chicken salad sandwiches.
And when you do that, do you make them all the same thing? Or
we do. Yeah, it's kind of like an assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
And fruit, chips, something small for dessert, done. It would be nice to give them the responsibility of making their own lunch. And I did do that for my older kids for years. But this is just easier. I'm in the kitchen while they're getting ready and getting breakfast, and just get them laid out and packed up. And
I buy stuff that they want to eat for lunch, and then they make their own. Even Theodore, my 4-year-old, makes his own lunch.
He's so funny. When he's at my house, he's like, Karrie, for lunch, I want chicken nuggets, the dinosaurs, Doritos, and apple. He knows what he wants.
Yeah. So when he was in preschool, he went 3 days a week and they would have to pack a snack. So they wanted them to pack at least 2 things, but 3 things. Every night when the other 2 were packing their lunch, he would pack his lunch as well, which is hilarious because he'd just go in the pantry and grab like 3 prepackaged, like a pouch, some prepackaged goldfish, and, like a Nutri-Grain bar or something, throw it in his lunch and be so proud of himself for what he accomplished.